Chanakya to this profound book, the Kautilya's Arthashastra. The good part is that all of you have at least got a copy of the book Kautilya Arthashastra. There are many versions of Arthashastra, right from Shama Shastri to Ganpati Shastri to various other people could be, but we have decided that for this particular course we will focus on Kangle's Arthashastra. R.P. Kangle, primarily why we have chosen this book is two reasons. Number one, he was from Bombay University. So the same department that we are conducting the whole leadership program is the same department. So आपने ही professor है. Second, the language is of course academic in nature but still understandable. Because many times academic Sanskrit becomes a little bit difficult. So R.P. Kangle who taught in the University of Mumbai Wilson College, of course physically is no more, but his version of Arthashastra has become very, very world famous. And therefore we have decided to take this step and the commentary and the translation of Angvikshiki as the primary text for this particular month. This is the background. We had used this particular text in the 6 months leadership program that we did at the philosophy department. The whole text of 6,000 sutras were used. Studied word by word, sutra by sutra. So that was a different module. यहाँ पे in this particular course, of course, we will not be completing the whole sutra by sutra, but you will get a clear idea of every detail of what Chanakya has said. And then at a personal level, you should pursue the interest of studying on the 6,000 sutras. For that, what we have done is that we have gone to the whole chapterization. So उसका तो background है ना सबको. So what is Arthashastra? Anybody? And how many sutras it contains? How many books? How many chapters?
Contains 15 books and the 6,000 sutras, 180 sections, and it consists of mainly the 7 pillars, how the king should function. And so along with the king, the minister is covered, the country, city, the treasury, the army and the allies. So how everyone should be covered and how it should be run, the kingdom how it should be run.
So the idea is that basically it's a manual for running a kingdom. So we saw the 5 broad parts of Arthashastra. What are they? Book 1 contains leadership. Yes. Book number 2, law.
No, that is 345.
Economics and administration. Third is law.
345 is law.
Next.
Policy. 6 to 8.
Policies. War. And after that, research methodology. What is the format? If you start seeing the Sanskrit text, and especially the lectures that all our Sanskrit teachers are taking, you will find there's a lot of technicality involved in writing Shastras. It's not like you want to write any way you want. So there is a research methodology is used, and that is called the Sutra Bhashya. Sutra is the formulas or whatever the ideas are, like Patanjali Yoga Sutra. But then there is Bhashya. Bhashya means commentary. So Chanakya writes Sutra and also he comments on it himself. And there are a lot of formats that you will see as you go on. So what we have done now is that in the Kautilya Arthashastra, I will be referring to the Sanskrit text also. But don't worry if you don't have a copy. You can refer to it later on. Of course, I will be reading English also. So if you look at the Sanskrit text and what has been translated to English also, we have the first book of Arthashastra containing how many chapters? 21 chapters. And it is called Vidyadi Karikam. It's called? It is a Sanskrit book. Book number 1 in Sanskrit is called Vidyadi Karikam. In English it is called Concerning the topic of training. Okay, so that book number 1. So if you start getting related to Sanskrit words, it becomes easy. Many people ask me that is knowledge of Sanskrit essential to study the Arthashastra? I said it's not essential, but it is advantageous. The difference? If you know Sanskrit, is an advantage. But if you don't know Sanskrit, that doesn't mean you can't study. My journey also started like that. I was initially studying the whole book in English. But then English as a language has its own limitation, right? That's when I did my MA in Sanskrit to understand it better. So if you are already having a base of Sanskrit, I would say study Sanskrit. Use the Sanskrit textbook. If you don't have, don't worry, but at least start getting used to Sanskrit words. And start using Sanskrit words like our Sanskrit teacher. But what is important is that don't get stuck up with those words you are not able to understand. There are a lot of English translations available for us. Clear? So book number 1 is called Vinayadikarikam. Book number 1 is called Vinayadikarikam, which is called concerning the topic of training. And in that we have the first one, chapter number 1 called enumeration of the sections and books, which actually is the complete index. So chapter number 1 is index. So students know what they are going to read, study. It's like knowing a syllabus before you start studying, right? Do you just take an admission in the course without the syllabus? A lot of people do that. BCom करना है. BCom में क्या पढ़ा जाएगा पता नहीं. BCom करना है. डिग्री मिलेगा. A good student and a good teacher, both of them will be clear what is the menu. क्या खिलाने वाला है, क्या खाने वाला है. Same way, our rishis, our profound teachers always talk about what I'm going to teach, what I'm going to learn, and what is the end result. ऐसा नहीं पता नहीं. At least in this first batch there is no clarity. But there has to be some clarity. The second batch, if people are not clear, I don't want to take them also. So by the time I will be clear why I am doing this. So the idea is that in life, be very clear about your objective, what is the method, and what is the end result. So here he is saying we are going to study Arthashastra, and we have seen that in the last class. What is the objective? Prithivya labhe palanecha, to conquer the earth and be there as a leader. There is a Sanskrit word which yesterday Shakuntala madam had also explained. What was that word? On ambitious. Vijigishu. Start using these Sanskrit words. Vijigishu. Vijayata. The इच्छा करने वाला. Vijigishu. Is that in the Arthashastra? But just small terminologies. That is very important for us to understand. Vijigishu. So by knowing Chanakya, Arthashastra, you will not only know theory, but also you know practical how to become a winner. Vijigishu. So what we have seen in the last few classes in the complete 180 chapters one by one. Remember that? So what are the topics and everything. The first one is, if you look at the English one, chapter number 1 is called Enumeration of the Sciences, and if you go to page number 1 onwards, you will find enumeration of the sections and books. So basically it's index. The complete index itself is a chapter. So he starts with a prayer. Om Namah Shukra Brahaspatibhyam. And what is the objective? The single treatise on the science of politics has been prepared mostly by bringing together the teaching of as many treatises on the science of politics as have been composed by ancient teachers for acquisition and protection of the earth. Clear? Clear, no? Acquisition and protection of the earth. Let us also look at the Sanskrit one, what it is saying. It is says, Vinayadikarikam Pratamam Adhikaranam Prakarnadhikarana Vidya Samudesha Om Namah Shukra Brahaspatibhyam. Salutations to Shukra and Brahaspati. Prithivya Labhe Palanecha Yavat Arthashastrani Purvacharyaha Prastapitani Prayasya Stani Samteka Madhitvat Arthashastram Kritam Tasya Prakarnadhikarana Samudesha. Saying that what is the objective, he goes to define the whole syllabus that is contained in the Arthashastra, which I don't want to go in detail because you have seen it. 2-3-4 lectures उसी पे गए, but that shows how much is there inside. See, one of the things I would suggest you make it a habit, and next week we'll be celebrating reading day, isn't it?
15th October.
There are patterns of how to read a book. A lot of people read the first chapter, interest है तो ठीक है वरना बंद कर देते हैं. Is it? And the generation has got in the habit of having an attention span of maximum 2-3 minutes. we don't even know how to completely read a book from first page to end page. If we throw that, how many people have completed a full book in the last 1 or 2 years? So it is a rare category. The thing is that it is important to know that book kya hai. Okay? Next Sunday, if you can remind me, I can tell you how to read a book, not only Arthashastra. How to know what is the content of the book, what is the idea of the book. And you are reading it for the first time, you can also look at, it's like, you don't have to read the full book, it's not necessary. But at least you have a taste of the book, right? They say buffet dinner, right? A lot of people say you should eat whatever you want. A lot of people say, but I don't know what to eat, there are so much, right? So let me at least taste little bit. Then I go, oh, I like this. Then I eat it fully. It's a choice. Whether to read the book completely or not. But how do you know whether I have to read the book or not? There are methods of that. Which probably in the next class I will tell you. Because book reading is also a science. That's why we have something called as library science. The way you keep a book, the way you keep notes. And since all of you are now in the academic area and you're doing a master's program, one of the skills that you should develop is reading and writing. Which I'm sure all of you know it. But there will be structures. What a Chanakya did. Okay, welcome students. ये prayer God भगवान चालू हो गया खत्म कर दो. A lot of people start. Some people don't even start. The best are the people who start and finish, right? So before you start, this is what our objective, isn't it? It's a clarity. And then say, okay, this is what is going to be taught. This is what is going to be taught. And then you teach. At the end of it, you say, "Arey, ye sikha." That's why in the last book, remember that? Did we achieve what we started? We go beyond that. We go beyond that. So what is the last ending one? 15th book mein?
For the future.
Thus we've got the earth plus the universe.
Yes. You started with the concept of
Acquire and protect this world and of the next.
of this world and the next world. Objective achieved?
Yes.
Objective achieved?
Yes.
No, beyond.
That's
So it's like saying that 100 ends banana hai, century banana hai. Century तो बन गई.
Century
Double century बना दी.
and more.
Exactly. Okay, so you got a feel of it? So now we go into two concepts that we will be covering in this particular semester. So as far as the book is concerned, the background is everything is concerned, but we can't do all the 6,000 sutras, all the concepts, but the 2 years we will try and cover the maximum key areas. And the first one that we will cover is Aanvikshiki. Yes? Aanvikshiki. How many of you heard about Aanvikshiki previously?
yesterday we
Science of thinking.
Kinds of observation. There are many things. So, when I heard about this many years ago, मुझे भी समझा नहीं what is Aanvikshiki. And then I started looking at okay, there's a chapter which we will be studying now. Aanvikshiki, what is it? But what is very interesting is that Aanvikshiki is not a new word. It was not coined by Chanakya. It was not invented by Chanakya. It was already existing. Aanvikshiki is called as Vidya, knowledge. We'll go in, I have at least found 200 different meanings of Aanvikshiki. 200 different meanings. And I have added one more. Science of thinking. So that is my contribution. I was very afraid. But then, teachers allow us, if you have studied something, understood something, you have the freedom to reconstruct knowledge. To reconstruct. What is the meaning of reconstructing? What is the meaning of reconstructing?
rebuild.
Rebuilding. You don't start from zero. It is not construction, it is reconstruction. That's why people don't.
Is it same as reinterpretation?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Reinterpretation, reconstruction, all are same. Like Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Islam, we talk about any religion, every generation has been reconstructed, reinvented, isn't it? Because what was relevant in one generation may not be relevant in the next generation. Isn't it true? So for example, if you look at Buddhism as a concept, You know there is something called as Neo-Buddhism?
Just heard about it.
What it is?
Philosophy.
In the philosophy, what is Neo-Buddhism? New type of Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't go away, but Ambedkar ji reinterpreted it. So the followers of Ambedkar say we are also Buddhist, but we have a different dimension of looking at Buddhism. Old Buddhism is also there, and within Buddhism there are different sects. In every religion this happens. In Jainism there are different sects. In Islam there are different sects. In Hinduism there are different sects. Isn't it true? This is natural. So what is important is that those people who study any particular philosophy, text, religion, theology for that matter, we go and say, okay, I've studied the Purvacharyas, I've studied the whole thing, and said, okay, that is fine, but I don't think this is relevant for this generation. So can I reinterpret it? Can I reconstruct it? Can I reinvent it for the new generation? And let me tell you that is very important, because otherwise you'll get stuck in the past. You'll get stuck in the past. Now I will take a little bit of a non-political, another maybe politically incorrect topic. Marriages. Is marriage a religious, kind of a dimension that we get married, or is it social dimension or a personal dimension?
Social.
Religious.
I'm asking you. Is it a religious thing that as a marriage?
Every person
Illegal. Okay, that's important. You see, if you look at marriage, you can look at marriage from all dimensions. Isn't it true? Isn't it true?
Yes.
It is, of course, when you get married, the ritual, it's got a religious angle to it, right? So if you're from the same religion, there will be that kind of a pandit or a mullah or a priest, right? So the religious dimension. Isn't it the social dimension?
Yes.
Society को बुला के करते हैं.
बड़ा activity.
सबको बुला. When people take loans to our extent, my goodness, they can't even afford it. Because it's a society का खाना भी नहीं खिलाया. Affordability नहीं है तो भी loan लेके करते हैं, right? Is it an individual dimension?
Yes.
A lot of people say, no, I don't want to get married to this person, so I'll get married to somebody from a different religion, culture, country. To that extent, my same gender.
That's a
Yes, yes.
Confused कर दिया आपने.
So you see, confused नहीं. It is in confusion that you get clarity. People think I'm clear. दो dimension डाल दो पता चलेगा कि हम बहुत बड़े विद्वान थे. I'm not going to confuse you. I'm going to tell you there are different dimensions to it. And now legal. My parents don't even have a marriage certificate, and they are happily married. And today the first thing is, and it's becoming a very important thing is that you first have that pre-registration. It's a very cultural shock to many people, isn't it true? Pre-nuptial agreements, right? Are you aware of this? And a DNA test. Give you a you girls are more surprised. It's becoming a very, and you never know that it's going to be a legal requirement. But that is about. So tell me one thing: is marriage religious? Yes. Is marriage cultural? Yes. Social? No, financial. Not financial. So what is that? The concept of marriage itself can change from generation to generation, right? So now tell me one thing. Marriage may there are again two concepts. One husband, many wives.
Yes.
One husband, what is it called?
Polygamy.
One husband, many wives. Okay, one wife, many husbands. Polyandry. Now this generation will know these are all things. But what does this generation define marriage as?
No marriage.
Confusion.
Living. Release is
Next time,
living.
because where we are not accepting religious, we are not accepting social, but we are accepting individuality as a prime thing. I decide, and the so-called person who may not be legal will decide. We can have children also, right?
Yes.
There are
And they are
forms.
legal.
India में अभी तक आया नहीं है, but in many countries there's a form: married, not married, divorced, live-in, and others. How you defend others? Now look at this. Many religions may allow polyandry or polygamy, but it's an individual choice. I don't want to, right? There are religions who say no, only one wife, one husband, but they have Hindu. Isn't it true?
Yes.
Isn't it true?
Yes.
So if there is a religion which says it's allowed to have different relationship legally, religiously, so there are people who says no, yaar, देखो नहीं है. I'm happy with one wife. That's a fantastic dedication. And then there are religions which say no, only one husband, and they're frustrated.
So one can say no more also, he may not be happy.
Now why am I giving this direction that this generation has to decide what kind of a marriage we want? Taking all this, and then the scholars, the thinkers, the individuals, the society come and tell us, okay, let us decide. The marriage will have certain norms, legally, socially, and all. So let's say 90-95 people accept that it becomes like a rule for that society, isn't it? There will be always people who think differently. But if a generic, I would say average of 80 to 90 people, if they accept it, is accepted norm? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
But then what happens? Maybe after 2 generations may change. I think of something interesting. I was studying a little bit how did, in let's say India, I will not even talk about Hinduism, I will talk generally India, at least in our generation, till our generation, there's a concept of one husband, one wife.
Yes.
But if you look at India, past men was not necessarily.
Yes.
But if just go back to your own families, 2-3 generations पीछे जाओ, आपके grandfather, great grandfather के ज़्यादा बीवियाँ होते थे, and it was not a religious decision, ना?
मेरे father-in-law के 4 wives थे.
देखो, 4 wives हैं. And he's
2
still
I
alive,
have
right?
seen.
Huh?
2 I have seen.
See, now that's what I'm.
Concurrently or all of them?
एक expire हुआ है, my husband was-
No, why am I trying to tell you is that I will come back to Aanvikshiki. I'm not trying to divert. Because Aanvikshiki समझने से पहले Aanvikshiki what it was and what it is and what it should be, all things have to be decided. So there is a concept called institution of marriage, right? Worldwide. There's a concept of institution of marriage. The institution of marriage has to be defined by various factors, which we discuss: social, economical, religious, culture, blah blah blah. Look at it this way. One of the reasons why at least 90-95 people accept and try to follow one husband, one wife is because of the philosophical thought that happened a couple of generations ago. And that was Mahatma Gandhi. I'll tell you the philosophy. You know, Mahatma Gandhi followed the concept of Ram Rajya.
Yes.
Ram Rajya, right?
Yes.
But what is the meaning of Ram Rajya? Don't look at it now religious standpoint. Rama was his ideal, right? So that's why you sing Ram ke bhajans and everywhere. Marne ke time ye Ram.
Yes.
Now look at it. Somebody who idolizes that person for a full lifetime, doesn't that philosophy become your philosophy?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't it true? चाणक्य करते 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 आप लोग भी चाणक्य बन जाओगे. See, your hero. When I say hero, male or female. When you think over it, deliberate, study the life and all those things, it becomes a part of you, isn't it? Does it become a part of you?
Yes.
It so happened with Gandhi's life. It is said that Gandhiji only watched one movie in his lifetime. It was Ram Raj. उस जमाने में of course films नहीं थे, but there was only one movie that was made. No, Harishchandra, Raja Harishchandra. What is
Harishchandra.
Raja Harishchandra.
Raja Harishchandra.
He was only one movie, but that movie had an impact on him. What good films? Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Just wanted your permission to join.
Oh, the map, come on. I'm thankful. Can I get permission to continue? So, ma'am, we should welcome Mala ma'am.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Shubha Ashtami.
Yes. So, the concept and the idea that changed Indian thinking was because Gandhi ji was the father of the nation. अब देखिए, leader जो सोचता है वो सब लोग सोचने लगते हैं, isn't it true? This is the important. Leader, what he does or she does, defines the society, even if you are not accepting it completely. Understand my point? So Gandhi ji was so influenced by Ram Rajya, the concept of Rama. And what was Rama's promise to Sita?
One
एक
wife.
पत्नी
One
व्रत
wife.
है.
Eka Patni Vrata. Nobody stopped him. It was his personal choice. His own father.
Had 3 wives.
Who told you?
4.
Who told you he had 3 wives? Dasharatha had 3 wives, which is known.
Yeah.
But in his generation, it was allowed. And let me tell you, today we laugh, it was an accepted social custom. But Rama chose. It was a personal choice. that I will like my एक पत्नी व्रत. And it was Sita's choice. मेरे एक ही बस हो गया. It was Sita's choice also. It was Rama's choice. But what happened? Maryada Purushottam Ram, right? So, and by the way, I don't know, but if you track the generations after that, you don't know, maybe they had multiple wives and children, husbands. Same Mahabharata talks about Draupadi having five husbands. The thing is that we have to understand that every time you look at a concept, there are various dimensions, but every generation has to decide what it wants. You have to define it. The previous generation may be different, the next generation may be also be different. Huh? Don't get worried about it. They may tell that you are idiots. They may change it, the future. But the present has to be decided by us, by studying the past and looking at the future impact. Can I repeat it?
Yes.
When you decide something, a social custom, a religious custom, a personal belief, personal choice in life, you have to study the past. And then do something for the present, taking into account the impact of the future. So when husband and wives come together, they have to decide whatever they are doing, what will be the impact on the children. Isn't it true?
Yes.
What will be the impact on my parents? What will the impact on the society? वो घर का क्या होगा, इसका क्या होगा? And then it's a personal choice at the end of it. Isn't it true? So here when you look at the same word Aanvikshiki, it existed in the past. So for us, including me, you say Aanvikshiki, what is it? What do you study? And I started studying and researching. My goodness, I know at least 200 meanings, but that is not enough. A lot of Indian scriptures, the mention of Aanvikshiki, my goodness. I studied it, and you'll be surprised. As we study Aanvikshiki today, you'll be surprised. Chanakya quotes those Aanvikshiki before he tells his Aanvikshiki. Okay? So what we are going to do, the Aanvikshiki, the chapter, we will read and interpret. And we'll take one or two more classes because the subject is so deep. But in this process, if you get an insight and say that I can make Aanvikshiki something different, you have the freedom. That is the beauty of Sanskrit language, Indian literature. You can reinterpret it. Bhagavad Gita was written many years ago, but there are so many commentaries, isn't it? Your own religious books. It is Guru Granth Sahib, it could be Quran, it could be Bible, it could be any of the Upanishads. Every person has the freedom to reinterpret it. But, मुझको लगता है, not an idea. Study the past, do the research, understand it and reinterpret. That's why the people who do research and then put up a philosophy are then considered accepted scholars. Isn't it true? I want you to understand from a very deep perspective what is Aanvikshiki.
So, I had a question. While reinterpreting a text, what if the motive or objective of that particular see, it's not a sentence or a phrase. It is an entire topic in the book itself, which is dependent on certain previous and certain past topics also.
Yes.
So, looking at a paragraph and just interpreting a particular part of the text may give it a different dimension altogether, which may not be true.
Yes.
So, under such scenarios, who decides that the reinterpretation is correct, authentic or not? Who does that?
Who decides? मुझको लगता है. And that's why we have to understand there are people in every society, every generation who are supposed to be the Vidwan, the social leaders, the community leaders, the regional leaders. And they give the authenticity to this yes or no. So your question has got two parts. Basically, why is reinterpretation required and who decides whether this reinterpretation is accepted or not? Isn't it true? So I'll tell you what the process is. Now, in a society there are various thoughts happening, right? But you feel, I don't think it's right to reinterpret it. But people may not accept it even if you are right. So let me give a very different example right here in Maharashtra. How many of you heard about Jnaneshwar Maharaj? For all Maharashtrians, it's a very common name. But to study him not as a saint, but as a social change agent. The great reformer and a reinterpreter. So Jnaneshwar has got a very interesting history. And by the way, it's a historical character. He lived 700 years ago. So in Maharashtra, even today to a great extent, the policies, the cultural hub has been, policies were decided, the culture has been Punekars. If you go to Pune, you will find hundreds of Arthashastra scholars. Great Vidwan. So it was around in that particular place that Ganesha was born to a great father and a mother, great scholarly father. So if you look at the caste system, if you were to call it, they were all Brahmins, right? So what happened was that his father was a great scholar, mother was a great lady, and had 4 children. Ganeshwar,
Muktabai, Sopan,
Ganeshwar, who is the first? Exactly, the first elder brother is Nivrittinath, Ganeshwar, Sopandev and Muktabai, 4 children. But the story goes like this, that Ganeshwar's father was so evolved that he wanted to take sannyas. Okay? And we saw that in Chanakya also, you cannot just take sannyas just like that. You are married, right? You have to fulfill your responsibility. But Ganeshwar's father was so evolved, so highly that he wanted to leave. He left his wife and went. He joined his guru and he started being a parivar. But his wife, a very devoted wife, one day met his guru and said, "मेरा पति छोड़ के क्या करें? हम क्या करें?" Then the guru of Ganeshwar's father said, "Well, you go back. You go back. You have not fulfilled your worldly responsibilities." My wife asking the guru, "देखो क्या कर रहा है? वापस जाओ." Now he had already taken sannyas. They left his wife, taken sannyas, gone with the guru. The guru instructs him to come back. Guru instructs him to come back and get married. कौन बोलता है? Guru. He gets married after taking a sannyas. If you look at it, once you become a monk, you can't get married, right? And then he has 4 children. Now, what would the society say? What is this? This man took sannyas, that's okay. But he comes back. And he has 4 children. The children were not socially accepted. They were not allowed in schools. They were not discarded. Okay? Sannyasi inche mula. How can you look at it? Somebody who is a monk, a religious, if he has children, how will you accept? Even today it's not socially accepted. No? Highest state, after retirement, you क्या कर रहे हो? No, pursue. Now tell me who decides? The society has got a norm, but the Guruji says, no? Guru ने instruction दिया है ना? Guru is also right. You don't know what to do. Confusion. But then both the parents say, देखो, Guru ने instruct किया है ना? See, sometimes the society also, even though the social norms are right, may not always be right. There are exceptions. Then what happened? Very interesting. Because his father, the children of the forefather, was very scholarly, he taught the children everything. The Vedas, the Upanishads and all that. Young, छोटे बच्चे. But इतने विद्वान, they were all avatar purush. Imagine, is born from 2 scholarly parents. There is something in genetics also, right? You get what your parents are. And they were divine children. They but छोटे बच्चे, Ved, Upanishad, father ने transfer कर दिया. There are so many stories, historical facts. The Ganeshwar could move, walls. Even, a buffalo could start saying, Veda, you should study. There are a lot of movies also available. All this happened. How? Comes a very interesting example. Now all these Vidwans who decide the society's laws. Like today we have parliament that decides society's laws, no?
Yeah.
So today everything debates and then there is a law. And we have final law, right? So these, the think tank, the scholarly community, said, ये क्या कर रहे हैं? सब जगह जाके लोग गीता बोल रहे हैं, ये बोल रहे हैं. No. They called the father. They called the father and said, what are you doing? First of all, you become a sannyasi and you come back. Your children. The children are speaking all these things. No, not allowed. We are outcasting you. We are outcasting you. And the father has to come back. What to do? No society acceptance. घर पे बैठ के कर रहे तब तक चल रहा था. Now the society is outcast. निकाल दो इनको. He comes back. Discuss with the wife. क्या करें? Please understand. Whatever you say, you are a part of society. Isn't it true? हम सोसाइटी को नहीं बोलते. 2-4 दिन चलता है. आपकी बीवी जब आपके बच्चे बड़े होते हैं ना तब पता चलता है. You may be an individual reformer, activist, but when it comes to society, it does make a mark. What to do? You know what those parents did? They went, I would not say suicide, but they drowned themselves in a river. Husband and the wife. बच्चे लोग छोटे उठ रहे हैं, पापा मम्मी के लिए. What a tragedy. Who told them to get married and have children again? Guruji, right? Where they do, was it a personal decision? No. And now children. And children don't know what to do. Beggars on the road, not socially accepted. Absolutely. Imagine your parents are gone and outcast. And there are, you should study those lives of those 4 children. They were saints not because they were saints, because they understood. And the third brother was second was Gyaneshwar. He goes to house, and in that particular generation, sannyasis don't have to earn money like us. For a lecture, they get every house, no. But if you give to them also personally, socially boycotted. Now, तुमको भी socially boycott करेंगे. घर जाते कुछ नहीं मिलता, माँ पिता नहीं. And in that sadness, in that range, Gyaneshwar goes and locks himself in a room. This is not what I want. What kind of a society is this? My parents are gone. I mean, our Shastras are telling us that we are all the same children of the same God. What is the society? It's just not. The little girl, this Sister Muktabai. Read this. I think I don't know to give you as a project, but I'm telling you, this little girl goes and knocks the door. No, he wants to come on. Doesn't want to come on. Nature is society. I also go and like. This little girl, there's a beautiful composition. Tati Udla Gyageshwar. Tati means door. Oh my dear brother, please open the door. Please open the door. That conversation is recorded as one of the most beautiful conversations between a brother and a sister. Please wake up. Don't worry about the society. We are children of God. Our parents are gone. Then we are here to serve the society. Can you believe those 4 children then understand? Yeah. And then they have 2 choices. And this is very important in leadership. When you get so frustrated, sad, angry, you can become a rebel or you become a social transformer. 4 children could have become a rebel, right? They said, "Nahi." They said, "Nahi. What happened with us should not happen to anybody. Only way to connect a society together is love." And those people started a very beautiful sampradaya. They did not start it, they did not formulate it. But they said, "Jo bhi hoga. Agar khana milta hai to theek hai, nahi milta to theek hai." We are all studied our Shastras, right? We'll go door to door and sing the glory of the God. If they give us to eat, fine. If we don't give us to eat, fine. And those beautiful children went around door to door, and then the society said, "Oh my goodness, these children, what beautiful message they give." They never hated those pandits also, who outcasted them. And finally, over a period of a time, the time came when they were accepted as scholars. And Gyaneshwar, Bhaktinath, and all those things, over a period of a time, they became such popular. But remember one thing, the acceptance of even those people who rejected them. And today, if you look at, Pandharpur, there is a wari that happens. Gyaneshwar left his body in Alandi. He did not die. There is a temple in Alandi also. Then the Nivrittinath Maharaj is in Nasik, Rambakeshwar. His samadhi is there. Muktabai. All those people, they lived a short life, but very profound life. And then we have Gyaneshwari, Bhagavad Gita, a lot of this.
But the main goal also, like Sopan is content is Gyaneshwari is to get knowledge, Nivritti is renunciation, and Mukta is moksha. So the main goal is that.
So I'm just giving you a dimension of a very social system that happens. So coming back to your question, is that who decides? So Gyaneshwar, in his period, reinterpreted the Bhagavad Gita for the masses. See, dekho, his father was a Sanskrit scholar. I told you that, he studied all that. But he realized when he was walking in the society, there's a big gap between the scholarly community and the poor man. And India, one of the biggest problem has been, knowledge was not given to everybody. So one generation, I'm not telling you all generations, sometimes it becomes power. Please understand, knowledge is power, and some people make it their own IPR, intellectual property. Raj bhi chal raha hai in a different format. They don't want to give it. But no, knowledge और विद्या ऐसी चीज है जो बांटने से ही बढ़ता है और बांटना ही चाहिए. So one community decided, I will not teach it to others. So that's why there's a caste differentiation. So it is not the mistakes of the Brahminical community, it is the mistake of certain Brahminical community in a particular generation, in a particular region. So don't just say, Brahmin log aise the hamesha. So वो very strong होते. So what did they do? They were also Brahmin putras. Then Gyaneshwar understood, oh my goodness, I have understood the Bhagavad Gita, studied the Bhagavad Gita, लेकिन मैं संस्कृत में बोलता हूँ तो सामने वाले को समझ में नहीं आता ना? If I tell you all Arthashastra in Sanskrit, you'll go away. Then he said, I will reinterpret Bhagavad Gita in a language which the common man of that generation will understand. So Jnaneshwari is a reinterpretation of Bhagavad Gita in a common man's language, which is Marathi. And scholars don't like it, huh? हे काय संस्कृत मध्ये शिकवण्यात तो लोकभाषामध्ये सांगतो. No, he studied. And here there is a story. If you go to a place, Nevasa, beautiful place near Nashik in Maharashtra, there is a temple, very old temple. Jnaneshwar never wrote in that sense, Jnaneshwar. So people used to come, and such a loud spiritual leader of his generation. आके हजारों में बैठते थे. And that time mic and all were not there. Podium वगैरह concept नहीं. There used to be a pillar in a temple. Used to sit there and used to say, okay, Bhagavad Gita slok number 1, yada yada yada, and used to explain. One person, his name was Swarupananda. He was writing. So he, whatever, ये श्लोक का explanation, टक लिखता था. And today you will be surprised that particular pillar on which he rested, with back support, like you have a chair there, is worshipped in that temple. If you go to that temple, the pillar is the deity. Imagine a man sitting over there, he is not the deity. That Shiva temple, the Shiva temple of Balikaaditya. What happened? He gave it to such an extent, there was this intellectual community did not like him anyway, he outcast kiya, but popularity बढ़ गया. And that commentary which he explained, Sanskrit to a common man's language, is Jnaneshwari. Very popular in Maharashtra, घर में होता है. There is something called Appasayana in that. I am giving you interesting thing, friends, as leaders you need to understand philosophy and culture, otherwise वोट देने जाओगे एक अलग चीज होता है leadership. You understand your country's philosophy, the culture's philosophy. Coming back to your question. Now what did Jnaneshwar do? Bhagavad Gita was reinterpreted in a common man's language. Was it accepted by the lawmakers? No. Was it accepted by the society?
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes what happens, we don't know who is right. But the thing is, it was accepted. Isn't it true? I'll tell you. Two examples.
Would it be possible that because of his interpretation, the way he interpreted the Bhagavad Gita, it was more suitable for the society at that time?
Yes.
And hence,
Yes.
they accepted a version which wasn't actually what the Bhagavad Gita had told.
Yes, you are right.
Right. So,
You are right.
in that case,
Yes.
the essence of the Bhagavad Gita has changed, right?
Yes.
So that is what I'm trying to say. Your interpretation is not what actually was told. You have changed the concept entirely.
Yes, you are right. And the freedom is given. As long as there is only one rule.
So then, in that case, what is the need to write a book? What is the need to refer to a holy book which is like history is old? You can create your own interpretation and give it to them and give them some noble name.
So you can. That's what a lot of people do. अपना भी कहानी बनाओ ना.
Yeah, but I have read both the Jnaneshwari and the Bhagavad Gita. The
Yes,
essence is not changed.
essence is
It's only interpretation in a different language.
No, but again, have you read it in Sanskrit or the original text in which Bhagavad Gita was written?
I have read the original text.
Whatever what happens is the spirit remains the same, but the letter changes.
Yeah, the examples may change.
No, but the same, just referring to this example, it was reinterpreted for.
Can I complete it? So I have still not answered your second part of the original question. So Jnaneshwara reinterprets Bhagavad Gita, which becomes Jnaneshwara. Tilak Maharaj represents that Bhagavad Gita becomes Gita Rahasya. It was a very important book for freedom movement. Bhagavad Gita was reinterpreted by Swami Chinmayananda as the Holy Gita for the intellectual class. ISKCON ke Shripad ji is reinterpreted for
As it is.
As it is.
Vinoba Bhave wrote it. So it is a freedom in a good culture that you can reinterpret. Now let me tell you a little bit different. You can reinterpret everything as long as there is a rule to it. As long as it is for upliftment, not degrading. You are not creating conflict. You are creating a new dimension. So दो examples दो के आपको explain हो जाएगा. When I wrote Corporate Chanakya based on Arthashastra, is it right or wrong?
Right. It is right.
What is it?
The reader,
The sales of the book.
the
Yes.
reader
It is right for the audience who is going to read it.
Exactly. But let me tell you, I had a lot of doubt. मुझे कर क्या रहा है? चाणक्य करके सीख तो लिया इसने, but he is trying to do a something which is not done. If the scholarly community says ये करना नहीं चाहिए, it is not accepted. Scholarly community can decide, they set the rule. But I have been so fortunate, touch wood, and thanks to all of you sitting over here, I have accepted by the scholarly community and also the mass. आज यहाँ पे बैठे हो ना, मेरा सबसे बड़ा fear था ये पढ़ के क्या कर रहा है, चाणक्य को, are you degrading चाणक्य? Am I degrading चाणक्य?
No.
There could be a thought, na? I was worried. What will the scholarly community say? And interestingly, the scholarly community accepted me and said, "Very good. You have done something we could not do. So come, you also become a scholar."
It's a reformish.
It's a reformation.
A different
Like,
interpretation.
there is a difference. Let me complete it.
So just on this same point, one step still below. Who decides the scholars?
Who decides the
Scholars.
beautiful point? Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Scholarship is not meant by university or a status. Scholarship is decided by your intellectual ability to understand the past, the present, and the future. People who don't study may be scholars technically, but they're not really, isn't it? A lot of people I know never studied chartered accountancy, but they can understand accountancy like anything. So there is a concept called honorary PhD.
Yeah.
पता है आपको what is
Yes,
honorary
yes,
PhD?
yes.
ये तो मिनिस्टर लोग लेके घूमते हैं, वो सब छोड़ दो. Somebody has worked on a field for such a long time. He is that field only. Like if a dancer has been spending 35 years in dance, there is no difference in the dance and the dancer, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me one thing. People do masters in social work. It's a subject, right?
Yeah.
Has Mother Teresa studied masters in social work?
No.
Or anybody? So anybody who's in social work, उसको honorary PhD दिया, गलत है कि सही है?
सही है. Mr. Bachchan is also given.
That depends. So now coming to your question that who decides? Nobody decides. And let me tell you, the society will decide if they want to, and even if the society doesn't decide, it doesn't matter to you. But you are so much in knowledge, so much in that knowledge, other people have to come. That's why they focus on knowledge, doesn't matter, it's all fringe benefits. Now coming back, very important for all of you to know, in the subject of philosophy, this particular science of reinterpretation is called hermeneutics. लिख लो, ये आप लोगों को जानना जरूरी है. You can just Google it also. And tell the story. Hermeneutics. 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 Exact spelling of don't read. I'll tell you. There's a story.
So please repeat the word.
Okay. Hermeneutics. Hermen. Hermuin. TICS. You can recheck the spelling. But I'll tell the story behind it. In the Greek culture,
The meaning.
hermeneutics. I'm telling you the whole thing.
Meaning.
What goes on? So there was a person. Greek philosophy में आता है, and we Indian philosophy accepted that also. The person called as Hermanus. Person, scholar, everyone. I mean, उसको क्या था? He had an interesting skill or a divine blessing. He could understand the language of the gods and he could understand the language of the common man. So they have this mythological concept that gods live in a different world and they have their own language, isn't it? जैसा केरला वालों का अलग language होगा, महाराष्ट्र का अलग होगा. तो जैसे कि basically if you look at all the cultures, they believe in some gods, aliens जैसे आपने बोला, they are divine beings, they were a different level. But this man Hermanus, what used to happen is that he could communicate to them and he could communicate to the common as a man, right? But problem is that these जो gods है ना, they could not communicate to the common man directly. And the common man could not understand what these people are saying. That's why language is required somebody called as interpreter. है ना? मैं जाके हिंदी में बात करूँगा तो रशियन को समझेगा नहीं, तो रशिया में बात करूँगा तो मुझे नहीं समझेगा. But this guy was an interesting person. So the language of the gods he could understand and make it easy to understand for a common man. Clear? ये बीच वाला interesting है. वो उल्टा भी कर सकता है, सीधा भी कर सकता है, right?
Yes.
Because you don't know what the language is. Okay? Now this is where the whole beauty starts. How do you know whether he is interpreting it correctly or wrongly, translating correctly or wrongly? Therefore they say the test of a good interpreter is whether he is morally and ethically right. We can accept that. So what he used to do, they understood ये आपने अच्छा God जो भी बोले ये सही बोलते हैं, वो बोलते हैं ठीक है. He translated all the message of the gods to a common man in the way they could understand. And therefore, this style of reinterpreting knowledge of the other world or past into this generation, which they become like, is called hermeneutics. It is the science of reinterpretation. You want to know the answer, no? It is the science of reinterpretation. Hermeneutics. People do PhD on this subject now. So when you're doing research, and especially if you're doing a PhD and all those things, which you will, I'm sure all of you will, right? There is, when you submit a synopsis, there is one very important thing you should do. The research methodology. What is the research framework that you're using? And in philosophy, if you're studying an ancient text, like this, you know, one of the research methodologies that you use is hermeneutics. Basically, I'm saying, I've studied the past, I've understood it, but I'm trying to use the method of reinterpretation, reconstruction, reformation for our generation. Isn't it true? So this person, Hermes, did that for that generation and became a science. You have the freedom as long as you have studied the past. You should know that language. मेरे को आता है, लेकिन सच में नहीं होता. दूसरा common man का problem नहीं पता है उसको. Which language? And what you do, you become a medium. The more you are spiritual, ethical, moral, you do it right. And I think sometimes very interesting. In hermeneutics, you don't have to always do it word by word. You have to give the essence. क्योंकि common man को सब देके फायदा भी नहीं है ना. देखो, when mommy makes something in the kitchen, does she tell you the process? Even if you want to know the process, then ठीक है यार, process बता देंगे. But what is the end objective? खाना अच्छा लगना चाहिए और पेट भरना चाहिए. बराबर. If somebody is interested in learning cooking, I can teach you. But not everybody is. Mother's first objective is that tasty होना चाहिए, nutritious होना चाहिए और भूख मिटना चाहिए. Isn't it true? Mother has all the knowledge, but she will not share. And even if she wants to share, it is not required, isn't it? Does mother, all of us are mothers or the ladies in the house teach us cooking? But does she feed all of us? Is that a basic requirement? Remember one thing, in society, whether you're educated or no, whether you're literate, illiterate, there is always a requirement of knowledge. You know this? Always. Always. And in the scholars, good scholars will think, इसको कितना देना है? ठीक है, इसको बहुत ज्ञान की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन उसको give him something that उसको रोजी रोटी मिल जाए. बराबर है कि नहीं? तो skill development. दूसरा है स्पोर्ट्स में है, उसको क्या है? स्पोर्ट्स का नॉलेज है. That is enough, so he will make a career out of it. दूसरा आपको know he is academically interested, so give him academic knowledge. You get the point? So these people who are good in hermeneutics will study the past and oh my goodness, these people require only this one. इतना ही दो. हाँ, interest है तो पूरा दे देंगे. Now, can we come back to Chanakya? Can we come back to Chanakya? The idea is that Chanakya did that. Even though hermeneutics was after Chanakya, but he followed that methodology. Interesting, the Greek culture and Greek philosophy comes from India. Background clear? So Aanvikshiki as a word existed before Chanakya. And Aanvikshiki as a word existed after Chanakya. But Chanakya gave it something very important. Pratama Vidya of a Raja. First knowledge required for it. बाकी सब चाहिए. 180 topics ना. But you look at what is the first chapter he starts with called Aanvikshiki. Okay, we got half an hour. So what I'm going to do, this will have one more lecture on this also. But let me start. If you have a Sanskrit book, that's fine. If you don't have a Sanskrit book, that's also fine. So let me read it for you. We actually begin with chapter 2. It's actually chapter 1. So chapter number 1 is. Yeah, what is that? So that's all. Prathama Prakaranam Vidya Samuddeshah Tatra Aanvikshiki Sthapana. Okay. So Vidya Samuddesha, it is enumeration of the sciences. Prathama Prakaranam, the first one. Tatra Aanvikshiki Sthapana. Now please understand. Translation में क्या दिया गया? Establishing the necessity of philosophy. So if you have the English one, go to page number 5. Go to page number.
So if you can concentrate only on the English part, it will be better.
Oh, of course. But where is the mental block?
You would say the Sanskrit, but it's Greek and Latin for us.
That's okay. But please use them. But I will use Greek and Latin. But after doing that, at least you'll understand something. Okay? So it's like, I will take the English one only, but let me use some Sanskrit word to begin with. Yoga can be understood only as yoga. What is the English word of yoga?
Yoga.
Answer is our mother. We can't miss it. So a lot of Sanskrit words have more than one meaning. So you will miss out the essence because the English translator would have used only one meaning. But when you understand and listen to Sanskrit, you will get a lot of different flavors.
And the biggest pain R.P. Kangle went is that how can I translate a Sanskrit book into English? That's why if you look at it, it's a bracket में लिखा है. देखा आपने? Enumeration is establishment का मिल गया. स्थापना is establishing. But what establishing? Aanvikshiki को उन्होंने एक ही meaning दिया, which is philosophy. That's in bracket. देखो, the biggest pain that R.P. Kangle had is such a Sanskrit scholar. You know what to do? English is a limited language. But we are all started with English. There's nothing wrong in that. What I'm saying, while reading this happened with me. I only read English. But you can a little bit क्या बता रहे हैं? But the good part is at least we know certain languages and words in Sanskrit, so it's not very difficult. Okay, now let me ask, how many people have studied and know Sanskrit here?
No Sanskrit.
Sanskrit. No. Sanskrit किसको पता है? All of you are wrong. All of you know Sanskrit. Only thing they are not studied academically. I will do a test right here, right now. All of you know Sanskrit. Okay, I will use Sanskrit words and you tell me the meaning in your language. English, Hindi, Gujarati, whatever you want.
Certain common words we have.
Let me start. Raja. Which language is it? Jalam.
Water.
Pita. Bhrata. Oh. Elder brother. Anuja. Pitamaha.
Grandfather.
Nartika.
Dancer.
किसको नहीं
Female dancer.
You may not know the finer difference between Bhrata and Anuj. That's fine. But at least Bhrata means brother तो पता है ना? Okay. Now look at other. Matruchaya.
Mother's love.
Mothers.
Mother's shelter of mother.
Sanskrit नहीं से कहना. See, this is the beauty. We never actually start thinking about Sanskrit words. And the beauty is that you know it. Only thing is we are not trained. माता क्या है पता है? छाया का. छाया means what? दोनों को combine करो. Matru Chaya. A lot of people name their houses as Matru Chaya. Basically, my mother's blessings is here. So I'm telling you, we know Sanskrit, but it becomes so complex for us. हमको नहीं आता. I'll give another simple. Now let me start using some words, and you'll be surprised that you know all these things. Mama nama Radhakriahna Pillai.
My name is Radhakriahna.
भगवतः नाम किम?
What is your name?
Answer. Okay. Mama Gruha.
Actually,
Mama Gruha Mulunda Nagare Asti.
My house is in
Mama Gruha Mulunda Nagare Asti.
My house is
Your house is in Mumbai.
I never understood. Actually, I didn't understand, frankly speaking.
That's okay.
Mama, I never thought.
Mama is
my
Gruha
house.
Mulunda Nagare.
मुलुंड भी नो.
नहीं बोल लॉजिक ज़्यादा रखो.
लॉजिक से क्या कि मुलुंड में रहते हैं.
नहीं तो वो
थोड़ा मेहनत करोगे ना.
that is why we know Mulund, you stayed Mulund, so we formulated the sentence.
Yeah,
If you had used the Kerala word, we would have never known that it
For
is-
example,
Grandma word itself is a something new.
Grandma we would understand.
I thought mummy because it's like mama मतलब mummy.
ठीक है ना.
Grandma we would understand.
See now there is a complete languages department here. But basic of all language is understanding of words. Isn't it true?
Challenge is as they combine the words. If you can
Listen
dissect
to
that.
5 sentences every day, considering that. Very
थोड़ा
easy.
देर exactly.
Very easy. We just have a mental block.
It's like okay ना.
You can converse in Sanskrit. It's very
Exactly.
easy.
And you don't have to be Sanskrit pandit, huh?
Yeah.
मैं मतलब basic की बात कर रहा हूँ. You know there's a movie which somebody was heard of, ABCD. Anybody can dance.
Yes.
बराबर है? How many people can dance here? And you can't dance like Prabhudeva. That's okay. But who said you can't dance?
You can do Ganpati dance.
That's exactly. Can you dance?
Yes.
See, children can dance just by putting on the music. They don't have a mental block. And it is not about whether they are right or wrong. See, dance is meant for enjoyment, not for getting a gold medal every time. But the problem is that Sanskrit is not meant for getting some degrees. It is meaning to understand your own culture. आप लोगों ने एकदम उत्साह के साथ बोला था संस्कृत सीखना है, सॉरी मेरे को क्या हो रहा है?
Only Veena was interested.
2 साल में अगर कोई इसमें इंटरेस्ट आ गया मेरा काम हो गया. Coming back.
Things to practice. I have a lot of other things to practice other than this.
Most of us may be doing some rituals in Sanskrit, right? We may not know the meaning. ऐसा तो पंडित जी क्लास इसमें मतलब क्या बुड़बुड़ करके जाता है. I will.
Yeah.
Okay, now the thing is that I will use English also. Okay, but get used to it. Because यहाँ पे आपको क्या संस्कृत डिपार्टमेंट में बैठे थे, pretty divine place in that. It's a divine language. You get used to it. Okay, ready? So let me read the first one, and since we have some time, let's introduce you to what Aanvikshiki is. Okay. प्रथमं प्रकरणं विद्या समुद्देशः तत्र Aanvikshiki स्थापना. The name of the chapter is Aanvikshiki स्थापना. We will see establishing the necessity of philosophy. So what is the first thing the chapter opens with by saying that the knowledge of a king starts with philosophy. The only country in the world को पहले philosophy सिखाया जाता है. हमारे यहाँ पे क्या सिखाया जाता है? ABCD 1 2 3 4. All schools ना?
Yes.
Is it how it starts? No. If you don't know your philosophy, you don't know anything. And philosophy is only one of the translations of Aanvikshiki. What is my translation? How to think. How to think. There are hundreds of meanings. We'll see a few of them. But Aanvikshiki can be said it is philosophy, it is knowledge, a right way of thinking, critical thinking, logical thinking, judgmental thinking, decision making thinking. But it is connected to think. Itna to clear hai? Philosophy is also thinking, na? Dr. Meenal Katarnikar, who takes lectures for us, she was one of my guides in research methodology course. She said, since we are all philosophy students at that time, she said, everybody is a philosopher. Because thing, na, रास्ते का जो भिखारी है वो भी philosopher है. You may not be जो सोचता है ना, कैसे इसको उल्लू बनाने के लिए पैसे कैसे? Isn't it true? Anybody who can think decently is actually a philosopher. Anybody who can think decently is actually applying Aanvikshiki. It's not that Aanvikshiki is something that you will learn. You already know it, but you don't know that structure.
Can you say that the scholars in the time of Jnaneshwar, they know the information regarding dharma, but they don't know the Aanvikshiki. That's why the things happen.
I agree on that. That's a very good way of looking at it. Saying that उनको knowledge है, लेकिन उनको reinterpret करके सोच के करना वो नहीं आता. America's biggest strength is that they will take all the knowledge, combine it and use it for economic benefits. इसका सोच वहीं पे आपने देखा है, but कुछ तो सोचते हैं. They are ready to invest, they do everything, but somebody who can give them economic, they'll put everything. Aren't they thinking? So that's a philosophy of that nation. That's why if you want to make money, please put on money. But after you have made money, they'll tell you, Tata, you're not useful to us. You're useful to them, very good. They'll give you green card and citizenship forever. How many of you attended American visa interviews? Very clear. मैं आपको अगर अटेंड करना याद रखो, the first question वो पूछेंगे नहीं पूछेंगे अलग बात है. उनको ट्रेन किया गया है. Are you going to give us money or are you going to take away money from us? If you can present yourself, okay, I'm going to pay you this year. Have you seen that movie called English to English?
Yes.
जो अमिताभ बच्चन है ना, अमेरिका जाता है पूछते हैं ये क्या करने हैं और इंग्लिश में इंग्लिश अमिताभ बच्चन श्रीदेवी
The first.
तो पूछता है यहाँ पे क्या करना है? उसने दो चीज़ हमेशा पे irritated. मैं यहाँ पे टूरिस्ट है, पैसा खर्चा करने आया हूँ. I'm going to give you money. You don't want, I'm going. See that scene?
Yes, yes.
See that scene?
Yes.
What does it mean? If you understand a person's philosophy, his thinking, you'll be a winner day one. This is what Aanvikshiki is. सामने वाले का सोच को पढ़ो मतलब क्या उसकी फिलोसॉफी समझो. हर आदमी का कुछ ना कुछ फिलोसॉफी होता है ना. Everybody has, huh?
Yes.
He may not know it, she may not know it, but there is. First of all, do you have a philosophy? If yes, perfect. The सामने वाला में philosophy. If not, understand. Then your personality type, basically your philosophy, his personality type, that is his philosophy, when it matches, there is tuning. शादी में यही होता है ना. See, why do divorces happen? Somewhere the whole thing is not matching बोलते हैं ना. होता कि नहीं होता? इसलिए हमारे यहाँ पे horoscope में पहले वो देख लेते हैं. Horoscope is not. It's a very psychological tool. We talked about MBTI yesterday, right? The personality समझ गया ना, tune. And then if there is, let me tell you, this is 36 gunas, right? 36 के 36 कभी मैच नहीं होते. घर पे थोड़ा झगड़ा चाहिए ना. But the idea is that it's a psychological tool, a matrix to understand how much is it fitting. It's like saying every student may not get 100 out of 100, but at least he should pass, right? पास हो क्या कर दो. और फिर वो थोड़ा दोष निवारण होते हैं. Walk कर दो. Life is easy. Now coming back, what is the philosophy of an individual? What is the philosophy of a king? What is the philosophy of a nation? What is the philosophy of that group? You know, this is what Aanvikshiki trains you in. And once you understand, wow, that's why you will see this. Pradipah sarva vidyanam upayah sarva karmanam shashvat Aanvikshiki mata. The end of this particular chapter, Chanakya concludes Aanvikshiki as Pradipah sarva vidyanam. Pradipah means lamp, light. Sarva vidyanam, all the knowledge you can only get when you know how to think. So thinking is the root to all knowledge, isn't it true? Information is not knowledge. Between information and knowledge, there is thinking. You are trained how to think. Upayah sarva karmanam. You can get results of every action. कहाँ जा रहे हो, क्यों जा रहे हो, पता नहीं क्यों जा रहे हो, वैदिक गंगा में डलर ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. You can create that ganga also. If you are not clear what you are doing in life, better don't do it. If you are clear, then go for it. So this clarity of thinking, if you have, and I'm so happy that this group has taken this poll as a choice, isn't it true? And we also are telling you, let it be a choice. And it should only be a choice. See, life has to be only of choosing. Nothing else. आप दुखी हो तो भी आपका ही चॉइस है. आप सुखी हो तो भी आपका ही चॉइस है. आप इन बिटवीन हो तो भी आपका ही चॉइस है. If you are successful, you are responsible. If you are failure, you are responsible. क्या बात कर रहे हैं? उसने मेरे को जॉब में से निकाल दिया. Why did you join that company? You never thought कि one day they will leave you, right? The training to have the 100% clarity is on Pradipah sarva vidyanam. So he says, who am I creating? Leader. पूरा दिखा दिया उसको. You have to learn warfare policies, foreign policies, yoga, everything you have to learn. But what? You can have hundreds of information. You know how to think. I'll teach you thinking first. I commented on our WhatsApp group yesterday. You saw that video on the education system. Move forward to that.
Sheena.
Very nice. Sheena not come. But you saw that video?
Yes, yes.
If you're not, please open it. It's already there. It's a, I think.
Fabulous.
It is fabulous and it's the real requirement, not in America, everywhere in the world. People are thinking about education system. So क्या कर रहे हैं? It's a factory model. 5 साल होगा तो first standard. 6 साल होगा तो second standard. When do you become a graduate? 18 years. Who told you? You can be smarter or you can be a late learner. So you may take 5 years extra. It's a factory model. Everybody has to join and come out batch by batch. And this is an American debate that's happening. Is that, why are we creating, factory models? Everybody has to be. And it starts with an Einstein thing. Beautiful quote of Einstein. Imagine you are teaching a fish to climb a tree.
Yes.
Lifelong, the fish will never succeed and will feel guilty. I can never climb. It will make him feel stupid.
Absolutely.
हमको ना साइंस में ना जाके ग्रेजुएशन करना ही है. क्यों करना है? Because you got 98% marks. If you have to be a scientist, who told you? Somebody who's got 98% marks can't be a good artist. No. He has to be an engineer. I know people. I know a person who's written a book on how engineering is bad for India. Who was saying anything you do, first you have to be an engineer. Because he's an intelligent person, right? I discontinued my science studies and I'm very thankful to my father. I was very good in my studies. Not say that I'm a topper, but I was not bad, somewhere in between. 11, 12 science year because I had good marks. And after I went to first year of BSc, I did for 1 year and I said, this is not time for me. I went to my father and said, Papa, I require one permission. What? I'll promise you one thing, I'll never leave my education. But I will leave my BSc. I'll leave my BSc, but I'll not leave my, I promise you. Papa, you should meet my father. What a great man. He said, जो करना है करेंगे. एक बात याद रखना, कुछ भी गलत करेगा और काम में छोड़ूंगा नहीं. So he said, morally, whatever you do. That's your freedom. As parents, you should learn this. Give the children the choice what to do, but keep them intact. Morally, गलत मत करो. जो भी करना, spiritual basis and value system पे करना. You know what I did? I took a year's break. I worked in companies. Then I said, I want to be a graduate. I did not know what field I want to be a graduate. I did correspondence course by the way. 3 साल काम करता था ये करता. By the 4th year. So the idea is that my father told me something very interesting, that you should do whatever you do morally, ethically, correctly. Isn't it true? Anyway, 1 year I took a break. I went and studied for 3 years. Parallelly as I was working. And then it hit me, graduate तो हो गया ना, correspondence course social work. Okay? But you know what? Then I realized after working for a few years, my goodness, I need to study. You'll be surprised, I did my MBA, I studied, I worked in multinational companies. Then I chose to do my MA in Sanskrit and a PhD. And by the way, I don't know that I told you, I'm still continuing my education now. I'm doing my DLE.
Sorry?
I'm doing my DLE. पता नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता. No, it is doctorate of letters. It's one step ahead of PhD. And you know what is interesting part?
Letters.
Doctorate of letters.
Letters.
What is that?
I'll tell you later. आप लोग अगर PhD को ही बोल रहा हूँ मास्टर्स के बाद. Why am I telling you that I never stop? I told my father I will never ever stop my education, and that's a promise I've given him. But you know, good part is that education and work experience दोनों मिस आउट हो. Friends, look at this education system that Chanakya created. He teaches us how to think first, not how to do. बोलो 1 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. वो भी करना है. But पहला and what does Chanakya do while creating Aanvikshiki? He doesn't say you have to think. That's okay. You have to think is one part of it, but how to think, right? Is thinking a new field? Is thinking a new field? Let me ask you, is thinking a new field?
No.
Was it a field invented by Chanakya?
No.
It existed before Chanakya. Yes. So he studied the previous thinkers, previous scholars of Aanvikshiki. Aanvikshiki was a subject. हमको लगता है हम रीइंटरप्रेट करने से पहले देखो he studied, there were so many scholars who taught Aanvikshiki. So Aanvikshiki is not a new knowledge, but what he did, he gave it a specialization. For example, if you go to colleges, science, arts, commerce, history, management, है ना, so you learn everything, but then somebody says I want to specialize in that, isn't it? If I like chemistry, so I go on doing and do a PhD, so you are not as a chemistry specialist or a physics specialist or a dance specialist, right? Chanakya saw that in our education system, they should teach art, science, maths and also thinking. वो भी सिखा देते हैं. बोले नहीं ये 1 2 3 4 5 नहीं होना चाहिए. इसको पहले लेके आओ. Don't give it one of the importance. Give it the primary importance. So what is Chanakya's contribution? He stated that there is a subject called Aanvikshiki. There are so many scholars who are teaching it. बट आई वांट टू से डोंट टीच इट जस्ट लाइक अनदर सब्जेक्ट. वो होता है ना स्कूल में 10 चैप्टर है, मैथ्स भी हो गया, साइंस भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया, वो भी हो गया, पीटी भी हो गया और थिंकिंग भी हो गया. नो 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 नो. Let me. So what I'm going to do while winding up this class, because we have our next speaker also ready, I'm going to read the Sanskrit one only. Explanation next class. Okay, so I'll just read it for you. Aanvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti Sheti Vidya. Okay, so there are 4 sciences. Aanvikshiki Trayi Varta and Dandaniti. We saw that yesterday also in Kamandaki Nitisa. And then he says Trayi. These are the Trayi Varta Dandaniti Sheti Manavaha. Manavaha is basically Manu and his followers. School of Manava believe that ये जो है ना त्रयी वार्ता और दंड नीति ये सिखाना चाहिए. उसको ज्यादा स्पेशलाइजेशन में दो. त्रयी विशेषे आन्वीक्षिकी इति बोले 3 में वो इंक्लूडेड है, उसको अलग करके मत दो. एक डोंट कॉल लीडरशिप एज अ सेपरेट सब्जेक्ट, इट्स ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड. So Manavas believe Aanvikshiki has to be taught, but why are you giving importance to only Aanvikshiki? There are 3. Aanvikshiki, Trayi, Varta, Dandaniti. Varta, Dandaniti, Trayi is enough. ऐसा मानवा बोलते हैं. Next, Varta, Dandaniti, Sheti, Brahaspatyaha. There is another school of thought says, you know, वो भी करने की जरूरत नहीं. Don't teach 4, don't teach 3, only teach 2. Which are there? Brahaspati, who is another teacher of political science. And it's there, Varta, Aanvikshiki, but that's enough. संवर संवर्ण मात्रम ही त्रयी लोकायतच इति. He says no need to give it a specialization, है ना. डॉक्टर बनो, डेंटिस्ट बनो, मत बनो. दोनों मेडिकल फील्ड के है ना. He says no requirement. Another scholar says दंड नीति रेखा विद्युत्युषणः तस्य हि सर्व विद्यारंभाः प्रतिवर्तः इति. अदर स्कॉलर्स ने ये सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ये राजा है ना, ओनली टीच हिम पॉलिटिकल साइंस. दंडनी एक बार पॉलिटिकल साइंस सीख गया, बाकी सब आ गया. आन्वीक्षिकी कुछ अलग से करने की जरूरत नहीं है. नेक्स्ट, चतुस्त्रय एव विद्या इति कौटिल्य. चाणक्य से सबका सुन लिया, सबका सोच लिया. प्रीवियस स्कॉलर ने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला. वन सेज only 3 are required, one says only 2 are required, one says only 1 is required. And चाणक्य से ठीक है, सबका सुन लिया. I think all 4 are required. But first you teach them Aanvikshiki. What is Aanvikshiki? We'll read it. I'll explain it in the next class. Very beautiful definition. So definition of philosophy is given over here. Tarvi dharmidaho vat vidyavat vidyavat. Okay, now next one onwards he defines Aanvikshiki. Of course I will not be able to take it now in detail, but it says Samkhyam yoga lokayatam chetas Aanvikshiki. Dharma dharmo प्रयाम अर्थानो वाक्यायाम तथायाम बन्धनं बलाबलो चेतस्याम येको विकारोपस्य करोति रसनिभूतश्च बुद्धि स्थापयति प्रज्ञा वाक्य क्रिया वैशाखम च करोति. आन्वीक्षिकी क्या है, उसका फायदा क्या है, उसमें दिया है. we'll explain in the next class, but the underline is the last 2 things. प्रदीपः सर्वविद्यानां उपायः सर्वकर्मणां आश्रय सर्वधर्माणां शाश्वत आन्वीक्षिकी अतः. My whole opinion, if you want to read in English, it says philosophy is ever taught as the lamp of all sciences, as the means of all actions, and as the support of all laws and beliefs. Prathama vidya, parama vidya, iti Aanvikshiki. So next class is going to be debating on Aanvikshiki. Aanvikshiki चाहिए क्या? चाणक्य बोलता है, I am not telling mine is right. He brings debating people. चलो let's discuss. A good scholar is not afraid of being questioned. He is not afraid of being refuted. He is not afraid of facing, you know, a counter view. No other book you will find like this. He is telling, you know, previous आचार्य लोग ने नहीं बोला है, मेरे टीचर ने नहीं बोला है, लेकिन मैं टीचर को डिस्कार्ड करता हूँ with respect. This is Aanvikshiki. मेरे पूर्वाचार्यों ने बोला है Aanvikshiki नहीं चाहिए. अरे नहीं चाहिए गुरुजी. ओम नमः शुक्र बृहस्पति वही मीन नमन टू दैट गुरुजी ओनली. और उसको ही बोलता बृहस्पति सॉरी योर नॉलेज इज ओल्ड प्लीज रिटायर. I know the generation problem of mine. This is also leadership in thought level. Can you tell no to your own guru? हमारे गुरुजी हीरो वर्शिप, गुरुजी सब कुछ सही बोलते हैं, गुरुजी को नमन करो और गुरुजी से आगे निकलो. So now you are a guru. No one respect the guru. See, this is Indian philosophy. We are not about blind faith. We are about logic. Can you defeat your own guru? And the guru will be happy if he is a real guru. वाह, मेरा बेटा मेरे से आगे निकल गया. पिताजी लोग को अच्छा लगता है कि बुरा लगता है? But there are pitas who don't like it also. I'm happy if you can have a counter view to me.
Rancho of Three Idiots.
Okay, so we'll take a quick 5 minutes break. We'll come back because I can already. Thank you. Yeah, sir.